How you guys doing? This is the first video on my sports-related channel. I am joined today by my roommate Eric, lifelong soccer fan. And today we will be going over a preview for USA versus Honduras in World Cup qualifying taking place tomorrow night, or maybe even tonight by when some of you see this on ESPN2. Coverage will start about 8:30. Game is going to start a little after 9. And, this is a big game for the United States. The end of their camp of 5 games. The link to my article that I did for Beyond Sports Network will be in the description box below, along with my Twitter, where I'll be live tweeting during the game. So, can you, Eric, want to go into why this is a big game for the United States, and what this means should we win or lose or draw?
Yeah, we definitely need this win. CONCACAF, the rule is if you get 16 points, you're going to Brazil for this year, and winning this game would give us 13. We have 13 points. It's almost impossible we won't make the World Cup.
Yeah. Another kind of unwritten rule of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying in the Hex is win at home, tie on the road, you're going to Brazil, guaranteed, pretty much. And even though that says 21 points after 10 games, 16 after 6 is more than enough on the way there. And this game will be taking place in Salt Lake City, where Real Salt Lake play their home games for the MLS. So this is going to be a very pro-U.S. crowd, and I believe that Real Salt Lake does not have that many Honduran players. So, unless they're traveling, this is just going to be, of the 21,000 seats that are sold out, 20,000 are probably going to be United States fans. So it's going to be a very pro-U.S. crowd.
Yeah, no, definitely. A big deal for this game, though, we do have a lot of people on yellow cards right now, and if you're Klinsmann, you got to be thinking about that. We have, is it 7? 7 people on yellow?
6 or 7, yeah.
We have at least 7 people on yellow cards, and if they get one more, they're suspended for Costa Rica. What do we do then? It's a big game for that.
Costa Rican game does not take place until September. However, no matter what happens in between now and then, if you do get 2 yellow cards over the course of any spot in qualifying, you have to miss the next match. And that actually leads into 2 people who missed the 2-0 win against Panama, who have to maybe slated back into the lineup, and one who is actually out of this game and our starting left back into Marcus Beasley. And that leads Klinsmann with actually not that many options in this camp of who to replace with Beasley. There's only one natural left back that's in the camp in Michael Parkhurst. Edgar Castillo is a converted 2 left back, as was DeMarcus Beasley. But is that what you do if you're Klinsmann? Do you bring maybe Fabian Johnson down? You make a last-second call in like a Corey Asher, Tony Beltran? What would you do here?
I would honestly probably just go with Michael Parkhurst in this case. I mean, he's the natural fit for the position. It's a little late in the game to transfer someone down there. And the other players that we could have put back there are doing well in their own positions or not able to play. So,
well, with maybe the one exception of Jeff Cameron. If Jermaine Jones, who was one of the 2 players, comes back into the lineup, that leaves Jeff Cameron as not a starter. Do you slot Hedman in left back instead of Michael Parkhurst, or do you move him out wide to keep Graham Zusi out, or what do you do with both of those?
Well, actually, I believe that Jermaine Jones was cleared to play. He was cleared for concussion, so he probably will be starting unless Klinsmann decides that it's not worth the risk.
And I believe he's actually one of the players on a yellow card. Actually, no, he just came back from suspension. Never mind.
Yeah, he was just suspended.
He will be. He'll probably get a yellow card if he comes in, though. He always does.
Pretty sure. He always has to get his win again. Yeah. I would consider maybe moving Jeff Cameron back there. The thing is, he did so well at mid last game that I'm not sure if that would be the best move. I think maybe coming on as a sub for Jones at halftime, something if he gets fatigued or if the concussion symptoms start affecting him or something, maybe bring him in for him instead. You have to
make this lineup as succinct as possible. I know that Graham Zusi did miss the Panama game, and Eddie Johnson actually did a very good job at right wing. However, he's not a natural right wing. Graham Zusi is. I think you got to put him back in, take Eddie Johnson out of the lineup, maybe put him in for Altidore, who's going to start as striker again in the 75th around that minute, and maybe hold this lead if we have it. If not, you always can use some fresh legs at that time. So, and every other position is pretty much, in the tag. You got to have Dempsey and Altidore up top, Bradley in the middle, Fabian Johnson as a converted left wing has actually done very well. The center back pairing of Beasler and Gonzalez, Howard and Net, and the right back, who has probably impressed anybody else more than anybody, Brad Evans.
Yeah, Brad Evans is doing an amazing job despite last game he did have a problem with speed, but I'm not sure if Honduras has a lot of that, so hopefully he'll have a good game.
Well, actually on that note, it was very interesting to see that Jerry Bankston, Honduras' maybe top striker, was sent home from camp. I don't know the exact story on that, but that's going to hurt Honduras a lot. The person who scored the game-winning goal the last time the USA and Honduras played in San Pedro Sula, and Honduras took all 3 points from the United States. This is still a very dangerous Honduran squad, though. Carlo Costly, I believe, is in the squad. Maybe Boniek Garcia. A lot of MLS-based players and Honduran, domestic league players are going to be in this game. I believe Roger Espinoza has been called in as well, former Sporting Kansas City player, now with Wigan Athletic in England. You cannot underestimate this Honduran team at all.
No, if you underestimate them, you'll end up like us. What happened last time? We were up a goal. They came back and beat us 2-1. We don't want that to happen again, especially not in the USA.
Yeah, I think any less than 3 points would be a disappointment here. I know that Klinsmann came out and said 7 points is the goal from these 3 games of at Jamaica, home against Panama, and home against Honduras was the goal, and a tie against Honduras would give us 7. However, you're in this position, you want to win. If you always want maximum amount of points. 3 points here would be just absolutely incredible. Put us in such a dominating position to go to Brazil that it's incredible.
We would be first in the group by a wide margin, and Mexico would need to essentially beat us in the USA in order to qualify.
Which in World Cup qualifying has never happened, or hasn't happened at least since 1997.
And especially in the form that they're in right now. I mean, they could pick it up, but they haven't been living up to their reputation.
Who knows if, the one bright spot on their team has been Chicharito, who plays for Manchester United. If he gets hurt, Mexico might not even qualify for the World Cup. I think that, unfortunately, Jamaica is going to finish 6th in this group, and they're already a distant 6th. So only one team of the 5 left will automatically be eliminated from World Cup qualification at the end of this hex. And Mexico just might not make it. I mean, it's a very, very risky pick to call it they're not going to make it, but, right now Honduras actually sits in that spot, but Honduras can pick it up at any time. I believe they actually will make the World Cup at the end of the day, but it's a different conversation. However, what do you see as a key matchup going against Honduras? Is it Josie Altidore hopefully scoring the 4th goal in 4 games? Is it Tim Howard controlling? Is it maybe Beasler and Gonzalez in the middle? What would it be?
Well, I think against Honduras, the main thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that they do not score on us. We need to make sure that our defense remains stout throughout the whole game. At least guarantee ourselves a tie. If we get no points out of this game, it would not be bad for us, but it would definitely, not be good either. We would definitely end up not where we need to be.
It wouldn't be a catastrophic loss, but it's one that can't happen.
Yes.
It's one that if you want to be on the best pace you can going towards the World Cup, you cannot lose games like this. A tie, sometimes, not really even that much. A win, if you look at a team like a Spain, a Brazil, a Germany, they don't lose games like this at home. And if you want to get on that level, you have to win tomorrow night.
No. The U.S. has a lot going for them. I mean, we need to continue this momentum. We need to just keep it going. We don't need to lay down for any games. Even when we qualify, we should still play pretty hard just to make sure we keep that going into the World Cup itself.
Right. The other match happening tomorrow night is Honduras. No, sorry, we play Honduras. Is Panama and Costa Rica. Costa Rica actually sit 2nd in the group right now. Should they win tomorrow night as well, and if we were to win, the 2 of us basically would have qualified for the World Cup at that point. It's going to be catastrophic for either one of us not to. And that would mean actually a lot more for the September 6th game at Saprissa, where they're basically putting us in a swamp for that game, which is going to be a heavy, heavy Costa Rica crowd and, their element. A lot of their players do already play for Saprissa or Herediano, one of the two big Costa Rican club teams. And there's a lot of MLS-based club, even their captain, Brian Ruiz, who plays for Fulham in England. But looking actually at this U.S.-Honduras game, the one matchup that the U.S. has to win is the one that they've been winning since the Germany game. And that's Michael Bradley has to own that midfield. That does not happen, we will not win tomorrow night. That's as simple. And I forget who's been saying it, but with the U.S. goes how Jermaine Jones and Michael Bradley play. If they create out of the midfield, that gives room to Dempsey, who gives room to Altidore, and that makes it such a much more dynamic team.
Well, just a note on that. Bradley is one of the players on a yellow. If he gets suspended, who replaces him for the next game?
Jeff Cameron. That would be a different call-up. That would be a different squad. However, Michael, you might actually debate sitting Michael Bradley tomorrow night, to be completely honest. That is a decision that would be incredibly risky, and one that I personally can't even say that I would do. You have to play Michael Bradley. However, and I can't see Klinsmann doing it. But that's, the most indispensable piece of this team. There is no one you can truly replace Michael Bradley with, when there is at least every other player on the team you can at least kind of shift around. The one you cannot is Michael Bradley. Even with how great Tim Howard's been playing, his backup Brad Guzan is not even that much of a drop-off with his form in Aston Villa. And even the third in-line goalkeeper, Nick Raimondo, this game is taking place at his home stadium in Real Salt Lake. He's been in good form for them all season. But, you have to play Michael Bradley. I think it'd be pretty shocking not to see the lineup of Altidore, Dempsey. Across the central would be Johnson, Bradley, Jones, Zusi, and going back across the back line of Parkhurst, Gonzalez, Beasler, Evans, and then in goal, Howard. Is that how you see it lining up as well?
That's how I would see it lining up. Going back to Bradley for a moment, if you're Jurgen Klinsmann and it's getting last 15 minutes of the game, do you pull him to try and keep him from getting a yellow card? And do you almost want him to get a yellow card so that we have him back from Mexico if that game becomes very important?
I don't think you ever want a player to get a yellow card.
You don't want a player to get a yellow card, but would it be okay if he did, I guess is what I'm trying to say here.
I'd still say no. You want him in every game. We are a worse team without Michael Bradley, just like we're a worse team without Clint Dempsey. However, I think you can slot many people into that role. They might not do as good a job as Clint, but the one just piece of this team that you cannot mess with at all is a Michael Bradley. He is in one of the best forms of his life playing with Roma. So I think that you cannot mess with him at all.
We need him, and hopefully he doesn't get a yellow in this game or the next one, so he can continue to play and continue to run the midfield like that, because without him we are a completely different team, and Altidore and Dempsey don't get the service they need, and we don't score goals.
All right, prediction time. In that article of mine that I wrote, I said 2-1 U.S. back then. I am sticking with it. 2-1. They beat Honduras. Goals. My goal predictions. Josie is an easy choice. 4 goals, 4 games. He scores one of them. The other one will come from, I'm going to say Graham Zusi coming back from injury. He usually, he hasn't had that first big time goal for the United States yet that he scored. I think it's just the game he does it in a home MLS stadium.
I'm going to say 2-1 also. However, I'm going to say the goals are going to come from Dempsey and Bradley. I think Bradley's going to finally get his goal that he so desperately wants.
I think the U.S. will actually go up 2-0 and then concede the goal. And then the end of this match will probably be pretty hectic with Honduras pushing up. But the U.S. at the end of the day will collect the 3 points, move up to 13, top of the hex guaranteed, and put them in a big position to qualify for Brazil, which everyone expects them to do. And then, all right, leave your thoughts below, guys. Comment, share this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.